if you weren't here for yesterday's episode, what we did was we crushed our quads in a really magnificent way. And so today, you know, what goes up must go down. For every action, there's an opposite reaction, all that stuff. All that to say that today we are hitting hamstrings and we're doing some deficit RDLs, we're doing some lat pull downs, we're doing some back extensions, T-bar row, and some preacher curls. So that's what's on the agenda today. We're gonna hit, I don't think we hit bicep at all yesterday. We hit some tricep, if I do remember, a little bit, at least indirectly. Anyways, today's gonna be a hamstring, back and bicep kind of day. And so, you know, I don't know. I enjoy deficit RDLs, but I definitely enjoy biceps more. Like, there's nothing quite like high and low bar squat. RDLs are just kind of like, hey, I enjoy them because they're going to help my deadlift get bigger. They're going to help my deadlift go up. They're going to help my deadlift lock out. But yeah, I guess I'm at a bit of a loss for what to talk about today. I don't know. I didn't put like a huge amount of thought into it. I guess what we'll talk about today, other than the fact that we are on our way to. Actually, I think the last time I hit RDLs was at the gym I'm going to today. I don't know what it is about RDLs and heading to this gym, but man, we'll see how much we can film in there. But we're going to wrap up the car talk with saying that if you are in a position where you want to become a better power lifter, you know, do whatever you can to surround yourself with better powerlifters. And that's literally anything in life. Let me go ahead and emphasize that statement with a sip of juice, if I can get this. I got these big fat fingers that don't like to get under the tabs. That's actually really fire. What is this? Cherry popsicle, 0 sugar? Not bad, I'll take that. But no, I just think that when people think about like working out, they think about the things they need to do in regards to supplementation, in regards to workout splits, in regards to exercises and stuff like that. And I think one of the most overlooked things is the fact that if you are going to become, you know, a really good, like, or whatever it is, if you just want to lose weight, if you want to get stronger, if you want to be a powerlifter, if you want to be a bodybuilder, whatever it is that you want, if you want to be a CrossFitter, God forbid, you know, whatever it is that you're going to do, I think it's important to find other people that are doing that. I mean, it is possible to do it on your own. Absolutely is. But it makes the tough days a little tougher. When you have a community, there'll be days where if you don't want to come in and hit, like, you might have a day you don't want to go to the gym, and then you see those other people that are powerlifting and they hype you up and you end up hitting a PR, you know? There's those times where before you go in, you're like, man, I would do anything else but work out today. And then after you're leaving, you're like, man, why didn't that workout last longer? You know, you can flip a switch like that. Or it just makes the hard moments easier. It helps, like, a lot of people that I know that have chaotic lives. I say this because this used to be me, but, you know, I used to just kind of wake up, and that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm trying to remedy this, but people will wake up and they might be feeling high, they might be feeling low, right? But it's just random. And then something happens in the day, again, random. And then something happens when they go to bed, random. And so they never know if they're gonna have a good day at a high or a bad day on a low. And so what happens is, when you start having this happen, you start chasing things that you enjoy doing, you start chasing these highs, right? But the problem with that is the more that you chase the highs, the higher the highs get, the lower the lows get, or the worse they feel. When everything's amazing and everything's good and you're traveling, like, you know, I used to live in Hawaii. When I was living in Hawaii, the highs were so high and the gratitude was so high. And then when I was living back in my hometown, Nevada, like, my baseline felt like a low because I'm like, man, like, today's not bad, but I'm not in Hawaii, I'm not in the ocean, I'm not, and people do that with their everyday lives, right? Like for me, for example, one thing I'm dealing with is I thought, hey, once I get out of school and I'm off for the summer, I can recover, I can be rested, I'm gonna lock into my diet, everything's gonna be fixed, I'm gonna be happy, and it's been like a different kind of struggle, which I'm finally rebounding from, but it's just one of those things where, You know, I keep beating myself up because I'm like, hey man, it's not easy, but it's simple. Just do the simple things. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. I just got to keep it simple, and I got to take one day at a time, which I'm working on being better about. But also, it's not going to be just this day or tomorrow. Like, it's not any one day. It's going to be the accumulation of days. But I can't accumulate days. Like, it's like bricks in a wall. I can't put a brick in the wall until I put the next one in. So that's kind of the attitude we're having, and that's why we're doing this car talk. That's why we took a couple days off of YouTube, and we were sick, but, you know, we're back and better than ever. But if you can find a way to find a baseline in the beginning and the ending of your day, say you start off, you brush your teeth, you read a couple pages of a book, you have your meal, and you get ready to go to the gym, right? If you have the same kind of start, the same kind of baseline in the beginning and the end of your day, then guess what? If you go have a bad day, say you're on those lows, you can bring yourself back up before you go to bed with that routine. And if you have a high, you can bring yourself down and wind down, you know, with that routine. But that way, the way you start and end every day can be similar, and then you won't have to struggle with like the chaos of like highs and lows and everything else like that. Anyways, we're pulling into Club 4, and I feel like I've been talking for 6 minutes, man. It's enough yapping. Well, let's go get inside. I can't promise that I'll be able to talk much, but you will be able to witness a workout. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna see what we can make happen. All right, first up, we got deficit RDL. I had 2 blue 45s for this, but just seems like a little bit overkill. One thing I've been running into with this is I've been getting a lot of lower back pain. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna wear a belt to really try to focus on my brace, because I feel like the 2 reasons why my lower back is hurting, to the point where like afterwards it's impeding other exercises, and like, what is it? Back extensions is kind of making it worse. And so we're gonna try to keep everything braced, keep everything in the same spot. I think what's happening is at the bottom of the deficit, right at the bottom, I'm getting a little bit of curve in my back, and I think that's what's killing it. So we're gonna try to get rid of that, and we're just gonna focus on, hey, 1 plate, and go from there, see how it feels. I'm not gonna tighten my belt, we're gonna keep it kind of loose, but just really focus on that brace, like I said. We got 275 pounds on the bar. Let's just see what we can make happen. There we go. I think that kind of fixed things. That feels good. Or, I mean, it sucks, but in like a productive way, not in like a back pain kind of way. So instead of that, feeling like at the top of my glute and bottom of my lower back, I'm feeling that like straight up in the bottom of my glute, leading into my hamstrings. And we were able to get to 10 with like hamstring fatigue versus just lower back pain. So that's a win. We got one more set like that with this weight, and we're moving on to accessories. I believe the first thing we have is lat pull down, which I'm gonna do close grip, reverse grip. I'm gonna focus on getting a nice bicep pump and pulling with my back as well. So, oh shit, that took more out of me than I expected. But of course I can't think of his name right now, but somebody talks about how close grip lat pull down is the best bicep. Mike Metzler talks about how it's the best bicep exercise. We're gonna find out. We're gonna be open-minded today.
This is like the only thing that's weird at this gym is this is what we got for back extension. Unless I want to do like something like T-bar row or I don't know, like something like that with a barbell. But like out of a machine or out of like a piece of equipment, this is all I've seen. What I wish they had, which I'll probably just make it another day and do it at the other gym I go to, but just like where you can lay down, you can shoot your feet back. I forgot what that's called. It's like a reverse hyperextension, I think is what it is. The other weird thing is, it's really weird. I'm listening to like Calm Down by Be Easy, which is really hype, and I'm doing it on this. So weird to be hyped on this machine. Does this machine do anything? Who's to say? All right, what do we have left? I think we have, we got a T-bar row and preacher curl, which I think I'm just doing a row over here. Been waiting for a minute for this machine. Let's see if it's any good. That's pretty good. A little bit kind of like clunky. Like the pull's kind of not, I mean it's smooth, but it's, watch, ready? Like the handles like move individually, but like if like one goes back, the other goes forward, kind of, so you have to like, and that's weird. This is a good, I'd say it's like a 8 out of 10 for like a machine, but it does what it needs to do. Let's move this back so we get a little bit more of a stretch, and then we got one more of these, and we're gonna finish off some preacher curl. All right. Ooh. Yeah. My bad, man. I'm gonna go ahead and move it down. Yeah. Sorry, that's my bad. Two more. 11. 12. Oh shit. That's good stuff, man. Thanks, man. Here, I'll just swap them, man.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, sir. Appreciate it. Take your time. And with that, that's it for today's workout. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.